So let's go ahead and get started. Right, so let's get warmed up. So roll your shoulders back and slide them down, right? Abs are in tight, and let's tap back and pull the arms back. Remember, go at your own pace. Good. So let's cross those arms down a little bit lower and then bring them back up, right? And then cross them down lower and bring them back up and cross them down lower and bring them back up. And one more time, cross them down lower and bring them back up. Good. Now let's tap the toe side and raise the arm side. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Now heels forward, arms forward. Right, make sure those abs are in nice and tight. Good. 4, 3, 2. Let's go side to side. So side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. Good. And come forward for a step or two and go back for a step or two and come forward for a step or two and go back for a step or two and forward for a step or two and back for a step or two. Let's do this a couple more times. Good, one more time, forward and back. Good, let's slow it down, biceps curl and knee lift. Right, so abs are in tight. If you need to, put a hand on the wall or the chair. Four, 3, 2, and let's march. Right, march your feet out wide. Bring them back in. March your feet out wide. Bring them back in. Good, march them out wide. Bring them back in. March out wide. Bring them back in. One more time, march them out wide. And bring them back in. Good. All right, little step forward and punch forward, alternate sides. Try to get those arms moving. Good. 4, 3, 2. Change the arms to an uppercut, uppercut, and let's step back. Try to really pull that elbow back, up and back, up and back, up and back, up and back. Good. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. So maybe move your feet a little bit, but roll your shoulders back. All right. Time to work on balance. I'm going to bring my chair in a little bit closer. So we're going to start. Let's get the hard one out of the way. So we're going to balance with our eyes closed. Okay, so feet are together, touching, if you can. One foot halfway in front of the other or heel toe. Now, if balance is an issue for you with your eyes open, I don't recommend heel toe. right? But if you're in the second or the third position, do try to squeeze your hips forward a little bit. Up nice and tall, abs are in tight, crown of the head lifting, but chin stays down. Fingertips light on the chair. Try to relax your toes. And 3, 2, 1, close your eyes. Right, and breathe. Not so easy. Try to keep going. Good. All right, open your eyes. Step your feet apart. Good job. Shake out your legs a little. Okay, and round 2. If you were standing 1 foot halfway in front of the other or heel toe, switch legs. Otherwise, feet side by side, up tall. Remember, fingertips light on the chair. Chin stays down, but crown of the head is lifting. Abs are in tight. And 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes. Make sure you've got some of your weight in each leg. And breathe. Good. And open your eyes. Step your feet apart. Good job. Shake them out. Okay. Now, we haven't done a tree pose for a while, so let's try a tree pose this morning. Remember, start here with your foot on the floor and your heel against the inside of the other leg, right? Hands can be down or hands on your hips, or if you prefer, your hands can be right here, right? If you need to, put a hand on your chair, right? Abs are in tight if you can. Bring the foot up a little bit higher. Now, if your hand is on the chair, don't go any higher than this, right? But if your hand's not on the chair, then you can see maybe about bringing that foot up a little bit higher. And abs are in tight and shoulders are relaxed. And find that focal point. Stay up as tall as you can. Try not to lean. And just remember, if it were easy, we wouldn't have to practice. Good. And slowly release. Good job. Shake out your legs. And you all know what's coming next. Can't do one side without doing the other. So let's do the other side. Remember, start here, toes on the floor, heel against the inside of the other leg. Abs are in tight. Stand up tall. Find that focal point. And then if you can bring the foot up. Remember, don't leave your foot against the inside of your knee, just below the knee or above the knee. But if you're using the chair, keep the foot below the knee until you can do it with no hands. And then if you can, bring that foot up a little bit higher. Whoa. And breathe. Long, deep breaths. Try to find that focal point. And the focal point is a big help with balance. Good, about 5 seconds more. Good job, and slowly release. All right, shake them out a little. Grab a drink, and then we'll get that band or tube, and we'll get moving with the upper body. All right. Shorten it up a little bit. We're going to hold it in front of us to start with. Right? Arms are about chest level, so not way up at your shoulders, but down a little bit lower. Okay. And if you can, try to move your one leg as well as the arm. So go out, in. And the leg can go out to the side. It can go behind. Try to really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep those arms down at about chest level. And this should be a little bit of a challenge. Remember, if we don't challenge the muscles, they don't get stronger. Try not to bend your elbows if you can help it. How about 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower the arms down. Roll your shoulders forward a few times. Roll them back a few times. Whew. Good job, everyone. All right, now bring it behind you, right under your arms. Shorten it up a little. As always, abs are in tight. Okay, and let's go forward, step forward, push up, and we're going to stay with the same arm and leg until we switch. Okay, so let's get ready, and here we go. Up, 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 up. 5, 4, 3, 2, switch. Up, 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 up. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Take a little breather. Then we're going to go across and we're going to pivot, right? So I'm lifting my heel and turning, and we're going to alternate sides on this one. Okay, so we're going to reach, 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 reach. And I'm sitting down a little bit in the center, but you don't have to. And push, push, push. Try to really get that arm to extend, right? Remember, quality is more important than quantity. So if you need to slow it down a little bit and really push that arm out, then do. Good. Let's do 3 more on each side. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. Go ahead, lower your arms down. Roll your shoulders forward a few times. Roll them back a few times. We're going to take one end of the tuber band, if you have one, and put it on the floor and step on it. And then the other end is going to go in the opposite hand from the foot that's stepping on it. If you have weights and not a stretchy tuber band, that's fine. Then just bring your arm down to your side, right? Abs in tight, and we're going to raise it up to shoulder level and back down. And we're keeping that arm back in line with the shoulder. So as I'm raising and lowering it, you can't even see it if you're facing me from the side. So it needs to go further back than we think. Abs in tight. Four more. 4. Try to relax your grip as much as you can without letting go. One more time. Good work. Put that handle in the other hand or that end. Roll your shoulder forward a few times, roll it back, and then we're going to switch sides. So step on it, abs in tight, up tall, arm by your side, and bring it up and down. And remember, that arm needs to be a little further back than you think, so it stays in line with your shoulder and the rest of your body, right? And the core is in nice and tight, so we're not leaning to the side and we're not leaning back. If that happens, then you need to give yourself a little more length in the tuber band if you have one. And if you don't have more length to give it, then don't use it. And if that happens and you're holding a weight, then put the weight down. Good. 3, abs in tight. 2, last one. Good work. Roll that shoulder forward. Roll it back. Excellent. Okay. Let's set this aside for a minute and grab a weight, kind of a lightish weight, not too heavy. So if you need it, you're going to put a hand on the chair. The other hand is going to go on the front of your leg, and we're going to go this way, up, down. So when that foot goes down, we don't want it to drop heavy so the weight bounces on your leg and you feel it all the way up your leg. We want that foot just touching down lightly, right? So abs in really tight. And if you can't do that with the weight on your leg, then take it off and do it without. All right? So here we go. Up, down, up, down. Bring it as high as you can without leaning back. Try to remember to breathe. We're going to try 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good job. Take that weight off. Put a hand on your chair or the wall. Swing each leg forward and back just a few times. And then you probably guessed, we're going to switch sides. Right? So bring that foot maybe a little bit out in front of you, abs in tight, up tall. Here we go. Up, down. So try to get that foot to touch the floor as lightly as you can. You want to try not to lean back. Use the wall or the chair or whatever you have if you need to. Take the weight off if it gets too tired. 3, 2, last one. Good work. Set the weight down. And again, swing the legs forward and back just a few times. Loosen things up. Good work. Okay. Grab your tuber band again. Uh-oh, how'd that happen? And we're going to step on it with both feet. Right? So shoulder blade pinches, make an X. Try to make sure that the two ends feel pretty similar resistance-wise. Take your feet a little bit wider apart so your hands are at the front of your legs and you're feeling some resistance there. And then up tall and abs in tight and pinch back. Pinch back. Right? So these are big muscles. They might not feel like it, but they are. So try to really squeeze them back and pull those abs in tight. Pinch back. Try to tuck your chin a little bit so your head and neck are not moving. Let's shoot for 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. All right, undo your X, right? We're gonna work the backs of the legs and the glutes, right? So we're gonna shorten this up. We're gonna glue our hands to the sides of our legs. Feet are out at least hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, right? Abs in tight, chin is tucked down. If you prefer to do this in front of your chair, then absolutely do. And we're gonna push back and stand up and squeeze your tush. And push back and up and squeeze. So as we come forward, we're looking down at the floor, right? Shoulders are back, back is nice and flat. The weight is pushing back into our heels. Abs are in tight, supporting the low back. And we're inhaling on the way up. That's probably enough things to think about all at one time. Push back, stand up. Remember, we want to try to be really mindful about these exercises, not let our minds wander, but try to stay present and try to remember them so that if we're doing something on one side, then you can remember what we're doing for the other side. Push back and up and push back. Feel this in the backs of your legs. If we don't feel the muscles, then we're not building them. Let's shoot for 3 more if you can. 3, 2, last time. Good job. Come off of the tube or band just briefly, right? Put a hand on the chair, pick one knee up, bring it into your chest. Now, if you prefer to do this sitting, then by all means, sit. Don't think of it as a balance challenge because it's not. We want to stretch. And we're trying to stretch back here, so you need to hold behind the knee rather than here in front of it. Remember, sit down if doing this standing is too uncomfortable or difficult for you. And then let's go ahead and switch, right? And then knee up. So we always want to hold that knee with the same arm. So we don't want to reach across with the opposite one. Right? So if you have to turn around so you can put the hand on the chair, then do. Good, and try to really hug it in. Good, and release. I'm gonna grab another drink. All right, and then back to the tube or band, or weights if you don't have a tube or band. We're gonna step on it again. And we're gonna work the sides of the waist. So we're gonna shorten it up, right? And arms are gonna stay down. This time, feet are just maybe an inch or 2 apart. Relax those shoulders, pull your abs in really tight, but not so tight that you can't breathe. Let's go to the right. So go down, center, down, center, right, center, right. Remember, if you have any issues with your spine or your back muscles, make this a little bit smaller, but really support the muscles of your back with your abdominal muscles. So try to keep them in really tight. Shoulders are staying down. And feel the right side working. Three more. 3, 2, last one. Good work. Pause in the center. Reset if you need to. And let's go left. Down, center. Left, center. Left, center. Good. Keep going. Don't forget to breathe. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good job, everyone. You did it. You have a super band, take it out to the full length. Right? Relax your fingers a little bit. I don't know about you, but I was having to hold pretty tight so it didn't slide. And then I'm going to redo my X. I'm bringing my feet close together and pulling my hands up to the outsides of my hips. And you guessed it, we're going to sidestep. So we're going to sidestep 3 steps to the right and then 3 steps to the left. So rather than actually traveling 3 steps, let's just go out and in 3 times. Okay, so out and in, and out, and abs are in tight, and out, and now left, out. Try to keep the toes pointing forward. Now right. Make sure you're stepping to the side and not in front or behind. Now left, out, in, and try to really push that leg over. Now right. Make sure when you're stepping back in that you're not dragging your foot on the floor. And left. Pick it up off the floor each time. Abs are in tight. We're not leaning. Now left. And push. And push. Now right. Out, in, out, in. Now left. Last time for 3. Now 2 steps to the right. Right here. Out, in. 2 steps to the left. Out, in. 2 steps to the right. 2 with the left. And one more time. Right for 2. And left for 2. Woohoo! Good job. Ooh, you know what? I stepped off of my tube and I didn't really mean to, so I'm going to step on it again because we still have a little bit of work. Okay, so feet apart, hands behind you. Really think about keeping your upper body tall and make sure it feels the same on both sides, right? If you can't keep your hands behind you, then narrow your stance a little bit so you have a little less resistance on the tube. And up tall and head and neck are staying still and we're pressing back. So if you have a handle, try to bring it across your palm rather than across your fingers. So that way you can relax the fingers a little bit anyway. And if you can, try to keep it behind you so it's not touching when it lowers. Woo! Feel it. Backs of the shoulders, back of the upper arm. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. Now go ahead and come off the tuber band. Woo! Set it down, shake out your arms a little bit. Okay, put a hand on the chair or the wall, whatever you have. I'm going to do my right leg first. I'm going to go knee up, leg back, knee up, leg back. So you want to try to have your hand as lightly on the chair as you can. And abs in tight. And upper body is up tall. Try to put your fingertips on the chair rather than your palm. And try not to use your thumb. The thumbs can hold a lot of weight. One more time. This is the last one on this leg. Good job. And set it down, shake them out a little bit, and then we're going to switch sides. All right, so knee up, leg back, knee up, leg back, knee up, leg back. Don't forget to support with your abdominal muscles. Fingertips as light as you can make them. Let's do 2 more. So 1 and 2. Good job. And set it down and shake out those legs again. Now I'm going to switch my chair back to the other side. Fingertips light on the chair, and I'm going to swing around in front and around behind, and around in front and around behind, and around in front and around behind, and around in front. And we want to try to really let that leg just kind of swing around, but do be cautious because it is possible to just fling it too hard and tweak something. So we want to be careful, but we don't want to be too rigid about it. Let's do it one more time and then we'll switch. Good job. Shake them out a little bit. And then we're going to switch legs. So around and around and around and around and around. Abs are in tight. Let's do it one more time. Good job. And shake out those legs. Good. Okay, now let's grab some weights for biceps curls. Okay, so whatever weight you would usually use, try to grab those. Remember, you're bending at the knee and at the hip. Remember, we never pick things up like this with a straight, flat back. We bend our knees and our hips, which is what they're supposed to do. They just don't always like to do it. Right, so elbows are in by your waist. Shoulders are back and down. And here we go. Curl up and down. As relaxed a grip as you can. Abs are in tight. Remember, if they get really tired, you can alternate arms like that. 5, 4, try to keep those elbows down. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Go ahead and set them down. Woo. Roll those shoulders forward a time or two, roll them back a time or two, shake them out a little bit. We're going to come back to the chair and we're going to stand behind the chair. Up nice and tall, abs are in tight, shoulders are relaxed down and back. Right? And take one leg back behind you. Try to keep that leg straight. And we're going to pinch here. Pinch. Try to stay upright. If the foot lifts off the floor, great. If it doesn't, don't stress over it. As long as you feel the squeeze here. And don't lift your foot off the floor if it pushes your upper body forward. Right? Upper body stays up tall. Four, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Shake them out a little. All right, you know what comes next. Other side. Leg back, fingertips light on the chair, up tall. Here we go. Pinch, 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 pinch. Remember, upper body stays upright. Let's do 2 more. Good job. Put the foot down. Step a little bit back away from the chair. Push your hips back and press your chest down toward the floor. Elbows are bending and they're pointing down toward the floor, not out to the sides. And breathe. Feel a stretch up the backs of your legs and into your low back. Good. Now abs and tight. Inhale and lift back up again. Right? And let's grab light weights. Grab your lightest weights. Okay? And we're going to hold them here. Right? And we're going to punch, 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 punch. So if you want to pick your feet up off the floor, you can, or if you want to kind of sit down and then up, that's fine. Or if you just want to kind of shift your weight from side to side a little bit, that's fine too. Push, 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 push. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now pause. And we're going to go this way. Like we did in the warm-up, make sure that you push up, pull back. Okay? So here we go, up and back. Let's just focus on the upper body movement for now. So up, back, up, back, up, back. Try not to grip the weight too tightly. Up, back, up, back. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. Set those weights down. Loosen up your shoulders, roll them forward a little bit, roll them back. Okay, let's come back to the chair. Right, and we're standing up tall. We're not out at an angle behind the chair. We're gonna take one leg back like this. And this time, heel up, down, up, down. So again, the upper body stays upright, abs are in tight. Try to keep that knee behind the other knee or no further forward than next to it. Right? Upper body's not moving. Feel it back here. The toes hit the floor lightly. And raise it as high as you can. If it only comes an inch off the floor, then so be it. Everyone has to start somewhere. One more time. Good job. Let's shake them out. So the leg we're standing on is working too. Right now we're going to switch legs. Take the other leg back, up tall, abs in tight. Try not to lean forward or really lean on the chair. And heel goes up, down, up, down, up. Keep that leg back. Try to keep your upper body up tall. Three more. 3, 2, 1. Good job. And step back away from the chair. So the leg that you were just using is going to go in front of the other leg. Make sure your feet are side by side rather than heel toe. And push back. Remember, you don't want to be so far away from the chair that your arms are totally extended. You want those shoulders back away from the ears. And if the arms are straight, the shoulders tend to squeeze up toward the ears. Try to really push back into your heels and feel it in the outside of the leg that's behind. Breathe. A few more seconds. Abs in tight. Inhale, stand up. Switch legs and push back. Shoulders back away from the ears. Back is as flat as you can get it. Try to look down at the floor rather than out in front of you. because your neck is part of your spine and we want to keep it all aligned. And pushing back into the heels a little bit. We still have about 10 seconds left in this stretch. Smile. Good work. Inhale, abs and tight, stand up. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. Let's work the sides of the waist again. So we're going to pick up one weight. We're going to hold it in the left hand so that we can work the right side first. Okay, so the right arm can stay down by your side. You can put your fingertips on your shoulder or behind your ear. Right, feet are not too wide apart. Right, abs are in really tight. And right elbow goes down toward the floor. Here we go. Down and back up. Down and back up. Try to really pull those abs in tight. Pull and slowly release. Pull and slowly release. Pull and slowly release. Pull and slowly release. Good job. Try to keep going. 6 more. 6. So at the end of these, we're going to stretch. If you prefer to do it without the weight, then by all means do. 2 more. Last one. Now's the time to put that weight down if you'd like. Right arm goes up, hips push to the right and flex over to the left. Try to keep that right shoulder back. Let the weight in your left hand, if you're holding it, kind of pull you into your stretch a little tiny bit more deeply. Both knees are straight, both feet are flat. Okay, and that's really important for the stretch. Inhale and lift up. Good job. Let's switch sides. Right, so up tall, abs are in tight, left arm by your side, fingertips on your shoulder or behind your ear, just a couple of inches between your feet, maybe 3 or 4. And here we go, down, up. Remember, chest is open and chest and hips point forward, so we're not going like this. We're also not going like this. Down and back up. Down, both knees are straight, both feet are flat. Let's do 2 more. Good, now's where you would put the weight down if you wanted to. Reach the left arm up, push your hips over to the left and flex over to the right. Knees are straight, feet are flat. Left shoulder back. Remember, if the exercise is hard for you, that's great. That means those muscles are really working. All right, abs in tight and slowly lift up and let's set this down. Okay. One more piece of work to do, and you know what it is. We didn't do it on Friday, but we're doing it today. So if you want to do it with weights, great. But if you're a little tired and you want to do it without weights, that's fine too. So we're going to stand up and sit down. I know you've all been waiting for this moment. All right, so we're going to sit toward the front edge of the chair. If you're going to stay seated and you're using weights, they're going out towards your knees. And you're going to alternate picking your feet up as high as you can without leaning back, right? If you're using weights and you're sitting and standing, well, regardless, if you're sitting and standing, arms go down by your sides or hands come up to your shoulders. Your choice, right? Abs are in tight. Regardless, feet are at least hip distance apart, probably a little bit deeper. Heels are a little bit behind the knees. Here we go. Stand up, and we're sitting down lightly. And stand up, and we're sitting lightly. But when we stand all the way up, and when we sit up tall. So when we sit, we don't stay forward, we sit up and then back up. All the way up, down lightly. Drive up, down lightly. Up, down lightly. These are big muscles, they can take it. Your knees and or hips might not feel like it can take it. However, and make sure those abs are in tight so you're protecting your low back. My knees are often complaining, but most of the time I say, okay, complain away. That doesn't change anything. We're still doing the work because otherwise they get more painful. Let's shoot for 4 more. You can do it. 4 and down lightly. 3 and down lightly. 2 and down lightly. Last time and down lightly. Good job, everyone. Set those weights aside. Right, we're going to come behind the chair and we're just going to swing the legs forward and back. Maybe 5 or 6 times. Right, and then we're going to switch. So make sure that you do each side. And then we're going to go ahead and sit down and do a little more stretching. Oh, actually, before you sit down, grab your pole or your cane or your rod or whatever you have. So you can do these seated or standing. Right, hands are out much wider than your legs. Elbows are straight, and we're going to reach up and lower down. And reach up and lower down. So we want those elbows to be straight because if they bend, then the muscles we're intending to stretch, which are the chest muscles, won't stretch as much. Right, so you want to feel that in the front of the shoulder, kind of right where the arm joins the torso. Right, and try to squeeze back as far as you can. Let's do one more time. Good work. All right, go ahead and set that back down again. Right now we're sitting at the front edge of the chair and pick one leg and ankle over knee. Remember that knee that the leg is resting on should be out in front of the hip. Right? If you need to extend that leg, if you need to, the ankle can go below the knee. Right? Sit up tall if you can. Press down gently just above the knee. Try to stay up nice and tall, so try not to lean. Try not to lean back. And breathe. And sometimes I have to tell myself, relax. And then I can get that hip to stretch a little more deeply. And breathe. And think happy thoughts. Good job. And let's release. And we're going to switch legs. So now make sure that hip is, or the knee is straight out in front of the hip. And the opposite ankle goes over. Extend that leg if you need to. So this is my tighter side, right? This one's a little bit harder for me, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Someday it's going to loosen up and it's going to get a little easier, right? Try to stay up nice and tall. No fair leaning back. Breathe. Good job. And release. Woo. All right, now slide over to the one side of your chair. Try to stay out toward the front of the chair. Hold on with the opposite hand. Lower that knee down. So one side of my tush is on the chair, the other side is off. And I'm lifting up as tall as I can. And then I'm pushing back a little bit. I'm pushing my whole upper body back and not just my shoulders. Right, and abs are in tight. Good job. And sit up and bring that foot forward and let's slide over to the other side. Right, and knee down and sit up tall and see if you can lean back a little bit. Good, and breathe. Good. All right, and sit up and bring that foot forward. And let's go ahead and stand up, right? And reach the arms up overhead, right? And maybe flex a little bit to one side. And center and over to the other side. And center. And lower the arms down and take a big shoulder roll or two forward and two to the back. And we are all done. Great job, everyone, as always. So, as always, thank you for joining me.